Breathe. All right. Group B. England nil, USA nil. And dare I say, this match was winnable for the US. If we had any type of clinical finisher, we could well have won. And this is what separates this team from previous, albeit less talented US teams, is that we're missing somebody that is a true poacher in front of net, someone like a Clint Dempsey or a Josie Altidore back in his heyday. That's the real killer, and that's why we dropped points again, I think, in this match as we did against Wales. The midfield and the back line were sublime. They looked very solid. Nothing to hold our head about regarding that. This generation does have a lot of quality. It does suck, though, being able to somewhat finally play out of the back, but not having someone that is a bit more clinical up top. In my lifetime, I've never seen a USMNT be able to play through the midfield, and it's a little sour not having that ace target man. I do think taking such a young team this year is going to pay off later down the road. So, to say about this match, England, the first 20 minutes, put us under a lot of pressure. I think that they did well at first, forcing us to sit in deep and absorb whatever they threw at us. And we did well to weather that initial storm. But after that, I have to give Greg Berhalter credit here. We got our tactics in this game spot on. The way that we broke on the counter, the way that we were winning 50-50 challenges in the midfield and winning the ball back and putting England under pressure. We were winning set pieces. We were forcing England to make last-ditch saves to give us corner kicks. And I love the footwork Weston McKennie had in this game. That nutmeg he made when he was running down the right-hand flank in the build-up to that effort by Pulisic that smacked the face of the crossbar, that would have been an excellent goal, and moreover, build-up play leading to the goal. And what's really interesting is that England struggled to break down our press in the first phase build-up. As far as England goes, I think Trippier is... I think he is overall, he's good, but he doesn't really offer those penetrating runs that could break down the press, and Reece James might have been useful here in that position instead. I'm not really going to understand the decision to not play Phil Foden. I think he could have offered England more progression in midfield and that creative spark that they were lacking in the final third. And not even subbing him on is baffling. I wonder why Southgate didn't do it. I know there's questions over Phil Foden, but I think he would have alleviated some of the woes that England was struggling in that area. But the U.S. set up nicely, man. Like, we really, really did. And, to shift to England again, I would say I was impressed with Saka's pace. I think he caused us a lot of problems on the wings. My goodness me. Like, if England was going to score, I thought the way that they were going to do it would be like Saka would have an assist in this game with a well-timed cross in the box to Harry Kane meeting his head or something like that. But, as the U.S. grew into the game, we started looking more innovative, and we were forcing England to make a few really awkward clearances. And I was watching and I was like, oh my God. Like, the 2010 1-1 draw we had with England, that was mostly about the U.S. getting a lucky goal off of a howler from a goalkeeping error and hanging on. This, for large stretches of the match, we really took the game to them, and we could have won. And there were phases in which we were by far and away the most assertive side. But again, it's just that lack of finishing. A criticism I have other than the finishing was the Shaq Moore sub. I think that was the only flaw because he seemed to be a little bit out of his depth today. Yes, he did provide some bit of stability on the wing, but like, it was a risky substitution. And I also think that bringing Reina on for as long as Greg did was a risky move. I would have subbed him on about 10 minutes earlier. I understand why Greg brought Shackmore on because Dest needed to come off. Um, but I don't know. I think I would have given the nod to Joe Scally instead, but it didn't cost us in the end. Zimmerman, I don't think he really improved much from his first game. I thought Tim Ream was excellent at the back, very composed. Matt Turner, his decision making, his in real time reactions were spot on. And what else? Well, for England, I think Harry Maguire was one of their best players today because Shaw was good with his link up to play on the left, and Grealish was lively when he came on. Rashford was brought on a little bit too late. On the other hand, several players played pretty dreadfully, I got to say, and I think England fans watching this would agree. Mason Mount being one, Jude Bellingham being another, Trippier, or is it Trippier? I made him sound French there. Shaw did create a couple of decent chances with his crosses. But other than that, chance creation for England was virtually non-existent. But that's largely a credit to the U.S. because we were applying so much pressure onto them. So I got to be honest. I thought England stole it right at the end. I really thought that set piece, Harry Kane. I thought he got on the right side of it and slotted that in the back of the net with his head. I was ready to be devastated in stoppage time, guys. But when he put it wide, I was like, oh my God. And it was all a result of Zimmerman's giveaway. That set piece that almost led to England scoring was a giveaway, a foul that Zimmerman committed. And it's a concern for me because not just the penalty last game, but today his passing ability put us in against England's best transitions. So it's a little bit worrisome heading into the Iran game and going forward, but I'm not sure what our other options are because when Zimmerman is good, he's really good, but sometimes he's way out of line. It's a great result for us, and we still have not lost to England in a World Cup in 3 meetings, and whew, it's impressive. And it puts a lot of pressure now on England to go out and beat Wales because they're not sure of progression just yet.